What's up, family? Back again on a Sunday. What's up, y'all? Salute to the chat. What up, T Rose? What's up, Stony? We back again on What's Poppin' Show. What's good, y'all? Just came to vibe with y'all, speak on a couple things that, we be out. What's good, y'all? What's up, Shayla? What's up, Lady Butterfly? What up, Top Brown? What's good, bro? Shout out to everybody catching the replay. Female Noah, what's up? Like I said, what's up, y'all? What's up, Rondell? Yeah, I know we gonna chop it up, man. People been liking they've been liking the episodes so far, People catching on, a few people catch on late. As we go on, it's gonna get better. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is for us to chop it up. So y'all already know what time it is, man. If you don't know by now, you'll get it. You'll catch on. What's up, Rondell? What's up, Lady Butterfly?
Hey.
What's going on?
First two on the set. So I try to tell people like this all of this is organic. So when the link go out, whatever pop up, that's the show. But yeah, soon like I said, I'm be doing call in soon. I'm just treading lightly right now. You know what I'm saying? But salute to y'all. Good to see you, Rondell, on this topic anyway, because I know you probably got some stuff to say real quick. And yeah, and it's always good to have female opinion when it comes to certain stuff like this, because I don't be wanting people to think I be bashing Beyonce. Anyway, though, we're gonna get into it quick because look, um, we all saw the story about them buying a $200 million home and all this shit. Okay. But we also know that they've been getting bad news lately. And we know last week Jay-Z was trending for his so-called son. And we know they've been trending for a lot of different things. We know she's on tour, so this is also publicity. But in my opinion, you know how I do. It's a lot of stories within a story. So I look at it like they just bought a new compound. And I did see they're supposed to have firing ranges and artillery. I saw that in a particular ad I saw, a particular story I saw. Long story short, this is shady, and this is a picture of them in Europe, in London. They're in London right now, so this is a paparazzi shot, and they out there looking shady. But anyway, man, I look at this as them still in the era of thinking breaking stories like this keeps them relevant. That's part of the main thing. Like, so when I'm speaking about them bragging, I'm just showing y'all how they still trapped up in that time and era where they think that bragging about their money make them relevant. And this is the pattern they've been using for the past 20 years to make everybody believe that they some type of god and goddess and they can't do no wrong and they perfect. But at the same time, look at what they just purchased, and y'all can see for yourself. It clearly looks like a compound, and it's by water. Well, they can escape by boat, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a landing for jets or whatever. But we also know the bad news that already came out as well with the Epstein flight log. So I'm looking at all of this like 10 different ways. But my point is, when I told people that a lot of those mansions really be compounds, see, this is going to be something like a prison for Beyonce. See, but it's disguised as a $200 million mansion, but we don't know what the hell this is. But that ain't the point. The point is, we know people out here fucked up. We know it's a recession out here. And we also going to take a look at these foreclosures, because foreclosures are booming in America right now. I've been looking it up, and we're going to look at some of the numbers just for April of foreclosures. People losing investments in the homes, life savings, thousands upon $1,000. They getting robbed. So we're going to look at that too, because they're bragging about getting a $200 million home. They already have a $88 million home. Okay, that's good for them. But they're bragging at a time where people are losing their homes, and it just shows you that these people had the audacity to just brag. But like I said, it looks this way. This is the crib. It look weird to me. It looked like a sophisticated science lab or something. I don't know. But anyway, they talking about it, and they out here looking weird. So Allegedly, she got on her little Michael Kors, whatever. But my point is, they just look weird. They looking weird over there in London, and we know they've been getting a lot of bad news lately, and they never get bad news like that. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm looking at is it's just a lot of funny shit going on with them, and they acting weird. So what made them put this news out that they got this $200 million home? Like, okay, what was the purpose of that? We know it's many different things, but they still want people to believe that they're on top of the top. But anyway, what you think about this, Rondell? Anybody can say, well, anybody, what you think about? What you think about this, Rondell, man? I'm reaching.
Nah, you're not reaching with T-Rex arms. You on the money about this one. It does look like a science lab. It looks like an institution. It does. Um the the fact that it's by water does say a lot, like you said. Just in case they need to bounce by boat, they could do so. And look, they definitely do have neighbors, right? There's another house here on the side, with a backyard, so they got some neighbors around. Um, Honestly, it's really weird that she's covering her face like we don't know that she's married to Jay-Z by now. Don't they have like 3 kids and about 20 years in? So I don't understand what was the point of her I don't understand what's the purpose of that. Like, girl, we know it's you. We know it's you. Like, we know it's y'all. What
It's
was
weird,
the
right?
point of doing that?
He looked like he a handler or something, man.
And
Shit, this look
and to be
weird.
honest, let's be real, y'all. This is the first time we've seen them together since the Grammys. It's what, almost
Mhm.
June? The Grammys
Mhm.
was back in February. We have not seen them. When's the last time have you seen? Remember before, you used to see them out and about all the time, whether they was on vacation, whether they was going shopping and they closed the store down for them to be in there, whatever it was, you always saw them out. Or you always saw like their photos or their videos come later on, even if the vacation was like a month ago or 2 months ago. You would still see them interacting, doing stuff, having fun. You don't see that with them at all anymore. They did not go to the Met Gala this year. They were not on the Met Gala carpet. And I guess, yeah, we could say, yeah, she's getting ready for tour and all of that. But it's just like even before the tour, during like the Renaissance, before the what is this? Before the Grammys, I think the last time they probably was seen together was when she probably released Renaissance. And that was in like July of last year. You don't really see them honestly together like that anymore. You'll
Well,
see you'll see I'm sorry, Shatira,
no, go ahead.
you'll see Jay-Z with Blue before you see Jay-Z with Beyonce. It's just
And
a
you
weird
made
dynamic.
a good point because even though they are together in public, they still look funny together. It don't even look real. And like you said,
Right.
we've seen them together before, smiling, doing whatever they're doing, but this looks shady. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the fact that I mean, we just know about that flight log. We always got to keep that in mind. We always got to keep that flight log in mind. And
Mhm.
also, we also got to keep in mind that R. Kelly situation too. That's not all the way dead or fizzled
Nope.
out, neither. It's a
Nope.
lot of things. That's why I said his name been coming up in a lot of bad press. You know, we also can't forget about the Adidas flop that Beyonce went through. I mean,
Mhm.
we know they're going through a lot. So, like people said, what else happened, y'all? The report of
See,
the taxes.
and they
So,
they play right, like you said. I don't mean to cut you, but they play these games like with money and numbers.
hmm
One thing I could definitely tell you, being around people with money, lots of money, that rich people never spend their own money. So when they say, "Oh, they dropped $200 million," no, they went to an institution and got approved for $200 million, and definitely much so they put down probably a nice um deposit on that. You know what I'm saying? A nice earnest money on that, a down payment. But they did not call for $200 million in cash at all. And they probably
hmm
definitely tied that into some type of LLC, some type of S corp that is not underneath near one of their socials. Because one thing you got to understand is, like, when you get sued or whatever, in order for you to protect your assets, you put things in a trust. You put things in
Mhm.
an irrevocable trust. You put things underneath a LLC or S corp. So if somebody tries to personally come for you or another business, those assets are not seizable. So they did not drop $200 million cash on this. The quickest way to get rich and to stay rich is to use other people's money.
That's right. That's what they
Well,
do.
I have three about three different theories. The first one I have is the Epstein flight log situation and the FBI telling him that they, excuse me, that he should be careful about using his emails or something of that
Mm-hmm.
nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was their way of warning him to let him know that they're about to take him down. They're just
Mm-hmm.
taking their time.
Mm-hmm.
This whole situation with his son, I do think that that young man is his son. I think it's going to bring a lot of uncomfortable conversations up to the surface. He seems to be another R. Kelly, except for the trafficking situation. And the last thing is, with them purchasing this house, has anybody ever read the book World War Z?
I've heard of it.
Okay, well, in the book, when the crap hit the fan in the country, basically people went to where all of the celebrities were. And the
Mm.
celebrities were in their huge houses and they just assumed that, nobody was going to be able to do anything, and the
Have
the
against the
problem with
have
that
not,
is,
y'all.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's what we
and the
talking
problem
about.
with
They
that
know
was,
shit about to hit the fan. You just said it. They know what's going on. That's why I said this is many different dimensions. They,
right,
it's press, it's a distraction, it's a sign of what's going on in the country, as far as people that's uh getting in position.
right.
Because remember, we also see many people in Hollywood just sell their homes.
Mhm.
But we also seen people going to exotic places running, and we seen people buying bunkers.
Right.
That's why I'm looking at this. This is a bunker. This is a slash
Yeah.
bunker. This is a
It's
bunker.
definitely,
Yeah.
but
It's a bunker.
but see, the problem is see, when you talk about the haves or have-nots, in that book it detailed how there would literally be gangs, not just like random people. You know how they have these mobs that go into these stores and they steal stuff and run out? It'll be something similar to that, but it'll be more organized, and they'll just start, going after celebrities. Just like you stated, they go after the rich first, and then everybody else is just
I'm
free
looking at
game.
this shit. I'm like, yo, yeah, they talking about they got a firing range and all that, but I'm looking at like, yo, they really gonna live there? Look, it's all see through. I'm looking at that now. I'm like, hold on,
And then it could just
all
be,
see
it
through.
is, what do you call it, smoke and mirrors.
So the
I think
whole
Mm-hmm.
that's what
world
it
know their
is.
house. The whole world know exactly where their
But
house
see,
at, and to pull it up and
this house is a what do you
should be
call
weird.
that? Like, when you put a front, like if you're running a scam, you put a front out like
Yeah.
you're running a business. That's what
It's
this
the money.
house is.
It's like a money laundering front, what she's referring to.
Right.
It's
And
a
but
facade.
right, but they're not really
Mm-hmm.
going to be staying there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm looking at it now. So you mean to tell me they put their whole home on blast, right? It looks see through. It's just weird. This is weird to me, and it don't even look like it's worth what they saying. Now that I'm looking at it,
Yeah, it's a front. It's
It
definitely
could
a
be.
front.
It could also be a foreclosure because the California real estate market is a hot ass mess, and
oh
you
yeah, we're
got to
gonna be talking
remember,
about that.
California got the highest property tax rate and the highest tax rate out of all 50 states. So,
Mhm.
it's a disaster. So they probably got this on a discount. But I will say this, if you're feeling like you paying astronomical amounts of money in rent, especially if you in a metropolitan city, if your credit is top of the line, you may want to look into foreclosures. You
Mhm.
may want to do that because, to be honest, the rent situation is not getting any better, and all you're doing is you're putting equity into somebody else's property. So if you feel as though that you're going to be hunkered down, or you got a family, or you're not going to be nomadic and moving around a lot, that may be something you want to look at. In finance, we say you marry the home, you date the interest rate, because that's what they want to do. They want to scare you from the interest rate right now. Interest rates always fluctuate. But I will say, definitely weigh your options with that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now to get an apartment, they weighing it like it's a mortgage anyway. You got to get them bank statements, credit
Mm-hmm.
reports. You got to make 5 times the rent. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy. So I would seriously, people, I would say weigh your options. Also look into down payment programs within your state. You'll be shocked what you could qualify for. People really don't know.
Oh,
They
we
don't
about to
want
get
you to
into
know.
that.
Yeah, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. But some people off the rip be getting $20,000, $30,000, depending on what state they in for down payment assistance.
That's right. And that's what we won't go
Statute
into
of
right now.
foreclosure. Mm-hmm.
But like I
Well,
said,
Stat-
you know what?
yep.
Why is the mainstream media saying that the housing prices are going down? Then there's some trickery going on.
that's what I'm
Well,
saying. We
right.
about to take it. We about to take a look at that right now. Give me 1 second, child. This what I want. That's why I'm glad y'all here because I want to get into that right now.
Okay.
Being that they're purchasing what they're purchasing and bragging, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we know foreclosure is one of the number one topics. So not only we're gonna look at rent prices will keep going up in 2023. This is what you was just talking about, falls with the rent prices and the new criteria. Mind you, this was already told a year ago. We know the food price is going up. This is March, 8%, 8.5% up.
Crazy.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
food prices rise as highest in decades. Okay, housing market predictions for 2023. When will the prices be affordable again? But this the main part I want us to go through right here. The foreclosures. Like you said, these are the numbers of April. Uh, as you see in Texas alone, I think Texas got the most foreclosures. It might be Cali, but anyway, we're gonna look at this right here. Almost 2,500 foreclosures, lost homes. New York, 2,050 lost homes.
Mm.
Virginia is at if I'm not mistaken, 508 Virginia lost homes. This all just up to April so far. 1,073 in Michigan. North Carolina, 1,026. And now I didn't do every state. I just did certain states. All
Right,
right.
right.
1,043 for Georgia. Arizona, 541. So my point is, as we see foreclosures left and right, people dropping like flies. So, like you said, this what I need y'all to break down. Okay, on one hand, we see people losing, but on the other hand, it's very easy to get a home.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you suggest, Rondell, how to play that game and how to go about this, and what you think?
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like, we at a time right now where if you was playing the last 3 years, if you was not getting your credit together, if you was not playing it safe, if you was not doing what you needed to do, you are way too late right now. The people who are gonna win in this type of market are people who did the work and did the due diligence. They was not getting PPP money. They was not getting the stimulus money. They was not getting all the money during the pandemic and not paying their bills or not
Mm-hmm.
working on their credit. You know what I'm saying? Or not getting certain things in order. People had their time to do that. That was your time to call up all these creditors and say, you know what? I just can't pay it. But what do you want to do? How can we work this out? And $1,000 credit card that you probably had in collections, you probably could have worked it out to pay $200 and get it deleted off your credit report like it never even happened, because back then nobody was basically paying their bills. So of course the debt consolidation companies are gonna want whatever you can give them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was your moment to negotiate and say, yo, delete it off my credit report. I'll give you three, four, $500. I know it's really $2,000 I owe you, but let's come to some terms of
Facts.
agreement.
A
They
lot
could
of
have,
people, yo,
they would have did it
not,
for you.
let me build with you right there. Not that because we know how we go back and forth. You are correct
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of companies was taking payoffs, and that was a time to get right on a lot of shit. You're not lying because at the end of the day, every company changed their books as well, and they
Mm-hmm.
sold all their debts. And there you go. That's right.
And another thing too we got to remember was that people were creating fake pay stubs. People
Mm-hmm.
were lying about their income, what type of income they were making, and on a rental perspective, they couldn't keep up with the rent, so they eventually got evicted. The eviction goes on your credit report. You get
Mm-hmm.
evicted now. they're doing credit and background check. The new renters are not going to want you, so you pretty much stabbing yourself in the foot right there. You can't walk from there, right? And then as far as with the homeowners, you had a lot of people getting this PPP money, right? And the banks knew what they were doing. They knew that
Mm-hmm.
people were getting a lot of this money, and the interest rates were super super low. Remember, it was like you can get a 2% interest rate on a mortgage, 3% interest rate. People were getting probably 1% interest rates on mortgages. So the interest rate changes the affordability of the month to month that you pay. So they knew people were getting this money with PPP and stimulus or whatever, and they were buying these homes, right? They were qualifying for these homes based off of the down payment they were putting down, whatever the case may be. Well, now all that money has dried up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the banks, when they realized that they got the fake PPP money and they was buying houses, the bank took it back. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? The feds took all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff back. So now we got all these foreclosures going on
That's right.
because so many people were scamming off of the CARES Act and taking all this astronomical amount of money, and they were buying real estate and putting it into real estate thinking that the real estate was untouchable. You know what I'm saying? But little did they know, this is why the rich have LLCs. This is why a lot of the small hats have irrevocable trust accounts. They put a lot of their assets in trust. They put a lot of their assets in estate accounts where they have an administrator or an executor. You know what I'm saying? They don't tie these things to their
Mm-hmm.
social like dumb people were doing during the pandemic when they was getting all this PPP money and all this unemployment money. So now when we realizing that, because people are still getting locked up for PPP, they don't want to talk about that. Like people getting
Mm-hmm.
locked up in droves and going to jail for like 72 months over these fake and false applications they was putting in and all this money they acquired. They thought they were smart putting it into real estate and buying houses, and the feds went and seized the property and it went back to the bank. You know what I'm saying? Or it went back to the rightful owner. So it's basically like, okay, it's getting foreclosed. You know what I'm saying? Like we know they put down maybe $50,000, $100,000 as far as down payment to bring the mortgage down to nothing month to month. But yeah, we need that back. A lot of the assets got
Mm-hmm.
seized up when the Fed snatched up a lot of these people. So that's why we have all these freaking foreclosures going on.
And we also have to speak about um the other people that did, like most of the businesses, and like you just said, the LLC people, the legitimate ones that did it and got away with it. And I'm not even gonna say got away with it. This is the other side of that token of the PPP. We also got to remember that gave a boost to a certain demographic of people too. A
Mm-hmm.
lot
Mm-hmm.
of people that had their own little businesses, as far as contractors, as we know, plumbing companies to garden to just many different construction companies. Period, and labor. A lot of them got paid off and didn't have to pay it back.
Yep.
That
Mm-hmm.
was another low key stimulus fund to help a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
get ahead. You see, because remember in the
But
Obama era, certain people got ahead and certain people started falling behind. So
mm-hmm.
that was also a nice payout to get everybody in position. My point is, people that didn't need the PPP money got it and didn't have to pay it
Mm-hmm.
back. The other people, as we were just talking about, they got tricked into scamming beyond scamming. They're the ones going to carry the burden. They're the ones getting blamed for the crash because, just like Rondell said,
Mm-hmm.
those are the ones that was taking the dirty money and trying to put it back into the same people that gave it to them.
And the crashing aspect too, the small business owners, they lost everything as well, so that
Key
that
thing,
helps with
key
the
point.
whole
Mm-hmm.
Right,
that
that's
that
right.
whole crashing situation. And then the tenants not paying their bills when they actually could pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
That all of that, and like you said, it's going to come back onto the little man at the end of the day instead of on the proper people that it needs to come on. Because when I heard that Jeffree Star got got a one of those loans, I was like, what does he need one of
Yeah,
those
I
for?
mean, Shake Shack got a loan. Yeezy got a loan. Good American, which is Khloe Kardashian's denim line, they didn't pay it back. They didn't have to pay that money back.
Exactly.
They didn't have
Exactly.
to pay it back, but the worst thing people could have did, the worst thing people could have did over the last 3 years is not pay their bills. Honestly, in my opinion, day to day, seeing what goes on with people, like financially, it's too late. Like if you went and you didn't pay your bills, like this is going to hurt you. Like the inflation is really going to take its toll on you, because it's just going to be a snowball effect, and you're going to feel like you can't catch up. You're going to feel like they just keep tightening the noose around your neck
Mhm.
That's exactly what
until
they're
you
doing.
just give out, until you fall to your knees
Exactly
and
what they're doing.
collapse. You know what I'm
So
saying? And
so we
it's
also
like,
got to look at that real quick before we go back real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. We're not gonna be too long. Like you just said, these are people. Let's break it down to the simple compound. When we look at almost 2,500 people that have gotten foreclosed on, that could be a nice percentage of people that's homeless. At least half of them,
mm-hmm,
Yes.
after
Yes.
putting
mm-hmm,
thousands of dollars down, life savings. See, that's why we
Mhm.
know it's deeper than that. We know some people, man, that want their home so bad, wait their whole life, and they just put it all into it. They don't look at one day they might lose it, and
yep,
they think
Right.
they could finesse that like rent and pay check to check, and
uh-huh,
sometimes it backfire because, like you just said, one casualty can happen and ruin everything, like a medical
Mhm.
bill, a death, or a layoff, and you lose everything. Like you said, New York 2050. You know, these are people that put hard-earned money that's just getting robbed. They're getting robbed too, like you said, because the interest rates are through the roof or going up. The taxes,
mm-hmm.
people can't pay the taxes. So
Well,
Mhm.
right now, the good thing about the interest rates right now is the feds have they put a halt on the interest rates, the Fed hike.
Mhm.
So right now that's paused right now. But now we got another issue
okay,
where we got the debt ceiling now, which they don't want to talk
Mhm.
about, where they're saying that we could potentially run out of cash by June 1st.
oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. I've been seeing that too, and they playing these games. I'm playing these games. Yeah, they playing these games. I seen something Biden put into effect. He got a team trying to control the funds. That is a
And
fact.
then
That's why yep, like this week I got to make a move on something. Yeah,
and
I'm
and
not
then
I'm
on
not
top
trying
of
to create a
that,
panic or nothing like that, but basically you get your hands on cash. These might be the
Mm-hmm.
last days of it.
Mm-hmm.
another thing too, the the homeless, it's the situation. I have gotten a few articles from Jamila and some other people. There's a lot of fires happening in buildings
Oh
across this
yeah, because they
country,
want
and
that
I
insurance money.
yes, I was about to say that I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that they're doing that. It's not old faulty wiring. I think it's
Let me
done on
let this be known
purpose.
too, y'all. California has the most foreclosures at 3,604. It's up to
Not
April.
shocked.
And we was
Yeah,
already
me
talking
neither.
about how a lot of people from California have been running to the East Coast and everywhere in between. I've been seeing it myself, so it's not hard to figure out. A lot of people just jumped in their cars and hit the road and took
So
and had their laptops.
are you guys recommending that you take out money before
I
June
mean,
1st?
I
hey,
would I would get
all I'm
some type
saying,
of cash.
it's good to
I
have
would
all coins,
Yeah,
everything,
you need
everything.
everything.
You need everything. I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest, you need everything. Cause what I saw, it ain't sounding too good. And it's gonna be national news. It's gonna be national
Yeah.
news. So um, like I said, just to go back real quick, then we're gonna get out of here. We just spoke about what's real, far as what's really going on. So, what is the purpose of them bragging about things of this nature? Mind you, they also know what's going on too. They know everything
Mm-hmm.
that's going on in the world because they're also down with the politics. That is the whole
Mhm.
point of this. That's why I had to bring it full circle. They know what's going on. That's why we had to show y'all the economy. Um, we know all of their affiliations, but now we see all of these people affiliated are now acting like they don't know each other. They are distancing
Mhm.
themselves. They're either selling homes, buying homes. They're all relocating. They're closing their companies. They're not working as much. They're trying to stay low key as much as possible, but at the same time, stay irrelevant. Stay relevant. So that's why
Mhm.
when I look at stuff like this, it applies to everything I just said. This is trying to stay relevant. This is also a warning to their people to let them know they got their bunker ready. for the pop off. You know, it's a lot of different things. Now, this is the last thing I want to ask you because I forgot earlier. So let's look at it. What's the situation with Beyonce not paying her taxes, but they're
Mm-hmm.
putting this information out? A lot of people said that in the comments section. What you think
They
about that?
keep they keep to me it's like they're trying to prove, or when you just try to prove that something is not true, so you
Thank
just keep
you. Thank
throwing
you.
out numbers. They keep
It's not.
throwing
It's
out
nothing to
numbers.
release news. You can do that tomorrow. Say you can post right now in your community section. You just put down on the house for 500,000
Right.
and have a picture, right?
It's just honestly crazy. And they just recently said that her tour is supposed to gross $2 billion. So it's like they keep throwing these numbers out there because they don't want people to elude to the fact or think that things are not on the up and up for them because she lost her Adidas deal. You know what I'm saying? Or, they just don't want negative press and any type of negative connotation with press. With Jay-Z getting in trouble, getting sued with his weed company. That was a thing too. People might have forgotten about that, where the whistleblower had came out and said that they were transporting marijuana across state lines and they weren't supposed to, for events that they were having underneath the company name, which they weren't
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do. That was a big thing too. So it's just like they're acting really weird. You don't see them out. It's like being organic anymore. It's just really funny business. This looks like an institution. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look like a home. It looks like being modern gone wrong. Like they tried to do too much of a modern architect where it looks like an institution. And Fame, like you said, this could be very much so her prison, because, or their prison, because they prisoners of Fame. They can't really go nowhere without it being paparazzi. They can't go to the grocery store. They can't
Oh,
drop their
talk
kids off
about
at
it.
school.
Talk about it. You just said it. It can't go nowhere without paparazzi. This her right here, looking like a white lady. And I want
So
this. What I
this
wanted to
just
show
looks
y'all too.
weird.
Like this. What I wanted to show y'all too. Like this. What I be trying to tell people. Like these people do everything we do. They use the bathroom. They regular people, but I just wanted you to see. Like you see how when they regular, then I want people to see when the magic work. When you're on that stage, her whole persona changes with the fan blowing, and she changed into that costume and turned into a goddess. But really, we know
Mm-hmm.
that's a cartoon character because when they're in public, they can't stand the light. That's also the vampire mentality, y'all. They fucking vampires. That's why when they're out in the light, they can't take the shit. You know what I'm saying? They live a life of darkness, man. That's why in the day they look fucking weird. But if you see them at night, they probably be a little different. But my point is, see, when they're on their stage, that's when they work that magic. When you see them in person, they're nobody. I'm talking about their real aura. Like you said, that's their real aura right there. You see it. That's right. And that's that vampire behavior. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of my perspective on that shit. That's just what's going on. And at the end of the day, they know what's going on out here. And like I said, he ain't doing shit for Brooklyn, and she ain't doing nothing for Texas. Because
Mm-hmm.
New York and Texas have some of the biggest numbers of foreclosures. So they just let me know they know what's going on. See that Texas 2,500, man,
It's
and
about
it
to
is
be
what
a
it is.
lot of homelessness. It's about to be
Exactly.
California. I'm telling you, if anybody in California, you need a plan B exit strategy within the next 2 years. I would say
Mm-hmm.
by 2024, you need to have it in stone, a plan B etched out, because it's only going to get worse. You are a border state with the border right now, so
Mm-hmm.
you already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have ran out of California. A lot of them have. It's just the property tax, the cost of living, everything is sky high. One of my moderators, SW, she works for the court system in California, and she deals with eviction, trying to save people from getting evicted. And eviction is a mass thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you said that because when you look at the whole picture, they're taking free money from people, and people are going to literally be fighting bills, fighting extra inflation numbers and dollars, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fighting to maintain a situation and paying a heavy price for it. You know, working three
Mm-hmm.
times harder to sustain. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on. They like you know before it was about fighting a revolution, fighting the so-called powers that be. Now they got you. They're gonna have us fighting bills, literally fighting bills. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
fighting costs and prices. Damn, should I put this in the tank or should I get something to eat or I gotta balance it out? You're gonna be fighting thoughts in your head just day by day. You know, that's what everybody's gonna be occupied with. That's how I look at it. But at the end of the day, the good side of it is too, it's gonna make everybody have to learn how to micromanage.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I mean,
you
if
can get rich
you
off it too though if you know how to micromanage.
you gotta micromanage. I said this in my financial literacy lives. Check your bank statements, check your credit cards, check the cashback incentive. Some of y'all have been running your credit cards up like crazy and had it for years and probably don't even know that it earns cashback. You probably got thousands of dollars just sitting there, and they're not gonna tell you to redeem it because they want you to keep just
Right.
spending money. They don't want to pay you out. So you need to call up your credit card companies and ask, what is my cash rewards balance? And I'm sure you probably got a couple of hundred or maybe $1,000 or more sitting there. So um you got to be conscientious of money, spending, credit, paying your bills. The last thing you want to do is get a late payment off. I'm telling you, like, your name is going to mean so much by 2030. The last thing you want to do is, with all this stuff going on, is have fucked up credit. Like, I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, missing payments, not speaking to creditors, not negotiating. That's not what you want to do. I'm telling you, because one late payment. Don't think that these rental companies are not checking your credit. They're treating you like you applying for a mortgage anyway. So the social credit score is about to come in full effect. When you got bad shit on stuff on your name, I'm telling you, is not what you want. And you're competing now with all the cheap labor that they don't let in through the border. So
Key
you got to
thing.
think, like, you know what I'm saying? You got people out here that's about to be homeless. These homes have sentimental value. You know, people have bust their ass to, get these homes, and now they losing them. Um, it's just it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, people got to get their stuff in order. But you've been playing around the last 3 years. You just making it harder and harder for yourself.
Rent prices will keep going up in 2023. So
Mm-hmm.
it's still going up. It's not even finished yet because everywhere is not redeveloped as well.
Right. So
And
now
everything
that
is not built up.
with
Hmm.
them redeveloping everything, they could say, you know what? Market rate now is 2,500. We knew it was
Exactly.
1,600 last year, but now it's 2,500. See, the
Exactly.
good thing about owning is you lock in that interest rate for 30 years, 23 years, 25 years, 20 years, 15 years. It's locked in. And if the rates do drop, you just refinance your rate and pay a lower mortgage every month. But when you at the mercy of the landlord, and they're like, well, we want to charge you $600 more for the next year renewal. What are you going to do? You're going to pay it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to think about. I think people really need to be thinking and having hard conversations with people that they live with and seeing what they want to do, seeing what their credit is like looking at their cash flow, the cost of the rent, what they plan to do within a year, 5 years. Like, now is the time, because we competing now with not only each other, we're competing now with, again, the cheap labor that they just let in, that they're gonna give everything
Right.
to. So
That's
it's time to
right.
start having the hard conversations with ourselves. Like, do I really need that? Are the bills paid first? Did I really need to go and cop that? I didn't. Drika said yes. Get the DTI down. That's debt to income. Basically, what debt to income, I don't
You
mean to
got to
go
break
into
that down
finance, but she just said it.
real quick.
So real quick, debt to income ratio is the amount of debt that you pay on your credit report every month versus your income. So if you make $1,000 a month, but $500 of your income goes to bills, you have a 50% debt to income ratio. That means half of your income goes to bills on your credit report. So if you apply for a apartment or a mortgage, you're gonna get denied because they're gonna say your DTI is through the roof. We don't want you. If I give you a rental payment or a mortgage payment every month, you're not gonna be able to meet it because you don't make enough. You got too many bills.
That's right.
So you got to lower your bills and your expenses. So I mean, again, the pandemic was a great time to do all of that because you can negotiate and talk the creditors down. Like, yo, listen, I know it's 1,000, I know it's a rack, but let me give you 250, and they would have took it and be like, okay, we good, we done, we'll clean the debt off.
Would
But
they have done that with medical? Because
yeah, yeah,
oh, okay.
I believe they would have did it with medical. If you would have called them, if it was in collections, you would have called them like, hey, listen, I'm willing to negotiate. I want this to just be done. You know, I'm admitting to the debt. I just need to get it in writing that if I pay this, you're going to expunge this off my credit report. They're like, all right.
Right.
Because
That's
they
right.
want to get paid. They all about making. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
they done bought the debt for $10. They
Mm-hmm.
done bought the debt for $2. So this is why it's not good to pay the whole collection because they already done made their money off of that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly how it works.
They
And
bought it for the low, but I don't
that's
want to get
true.
too financial.
Nah, but I
But
mean,
we
at the
we
end of the
talk about
day,
bills in a
at the
recession,
end of the
so
day, nah, that's real. When you pull up, when people pull up, you're gonna be able to get information that's useful. That's right. Nobody really talking about these financial situations, but really what we talking about is how to get through this shit, how to maintain, how to
Mm-hmm.
sustain. So you
mm-hmm,
won't end up with statistics. So we won't end up, bad numbers. That's really what it is. Like I say, man, this platform and what we do is for smart people. We dumb down, I dumb down, I clown, I do a whole lot of nonsense sometimes, but it's all fun and games. But at the end of the day, we always got to draw the line and be serious because it ain't a joke out here. And
mm-hmm.
I just laugh and like to make people laugh and have a good time so people won't get too down out here. But we all got to stay focused, and that's what we're doing. So I just want people to understand that. So we definitely gonna be heating up. We're gonna be having fun. We're gonna be doing a lot, but we had to speak on this because they're bragging on things at a time of a crisis, and we gotta let that be known that they know the game and they playing the game, and they're trying to still get publicity off of what they got going on while people out here suffering. So bottom line is nobody gives a fuck about their $2 million home, and it ain't no hate. It's just the fucking truth. All right, so that's my opinion on that. And thank you
Before
very
you before
much.
you before you close out, fam,
Good.
I just wanted to say something real quick.
Yeah.
They bought this $200 million home. Beyonce is on tour right now. I want people to think about this. People gave their last of their income tax to see Beyonce in concert, and more than likely, these people have seen Beyonce in concert before to perform the
Mm-hmm.
majority of this set list again. They went to see her
Yep.
again, spit their last again, complaining about how they can't afford stuff now, but they done gave their last to put her in this $200 million home.
Then I could have sworn they bragged about what was that 90 million in Dubai allegedly.
Allegedly.
90 million.
So again, nothing like you say, fame, nothing works without the people. Clap it up for yourself because you struggling to pay your food bill, but her and her husband is in this $200 million mansion, which they
Mm-hmm.
still have to pay taxes on, which we already know that she's trying to, get out of paying her taxes because rich people don't like spending money. I tell people that all the time, but nothing works without the people. So they are able to do this and rub it in your face and smear it in your face because you allow it.
Very, very true. You right. The audacity, and that's my whole point. Let me clarify that because we not haters. See, they could have did all of this and have to say nothing about it at all. That's how they did it back in the day. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to let it be known. But like you
Brag
said, to rub it
arts.
in your face while tickets are being
Mm-hmm.
sold, while I'm taking your money, I'm gonna rub it in your face to let you know it's all about me. And look what we just got again, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? While y'all starve. And if y'all try to come for us, we already ready. That's why we got the fort. Because like I said, I saw the article. That shit made a point to say they got a firing range. I'm like, they talk why they saying all that for? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. And I looked at him like this shit like a bunker. Like I'm not a fool. It's like a fucking bunker. Anyway, that's that on that. But hold up. Let's I definitely want to salute the chat. Cause like I said, y'all, when we do members only and it's in private, the stream y'all, you can't put comments on the screen, but I'm gonna read through it anyway. What's good? What's up, King Hannibal? That's right. He said, I'm not down with the same old circus. That's right. What's up, Stony? Hold on. Who else up in here? What's up, Drika? What's up, Judas Radio? Anybody got any questions before we get up out of here? Definitely want to salute Rondell for
Sharice
taking
say
the
it.
time out.
Sharice say it looked like a penitentiary. It does.
It does like a
It
penitentiary.
does.
That's what
It
I
looked
said
like
earlier.
that
That's
El
right.
Salvadorian penitentiary that they just built with 40,000 soldiers that they could
Hold
people
up.
that
Could
they
that
could
be
hold
his
in there.
Epstein compound just got built? Could
Yo, you
that be
don't
his
know.
Epstein prison? His that shit like a prison to me, y'all. I'm being honest. That don't look like
Shit,
no man.
what's
That like a
underground?
laboratory, Doctor Strange.
We don't know what's underground. What's
It
underneath it
looked
too?
like a
You
skate.
don't know.
And like it's
Maybe it's the upside
waterproof.
down world.
Like they made it hard for people to run up. I don't know, yo. That shit crazy. I don't know what's up with this shit. I don't.
Is
And the
that
whole
water?
world
Is
know where
that
they
a
live at.
pool? This is a pool.
Yeah, it looked like it, yeah. It looked like it. Yeah. Let's see that. Who else? Let's see what they saying up in here. Okay. King Hannibal said he was watching a dude exploring old mansions and in particular had a gun range inside. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, I think that is a rich thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they be bored. They do a lot of shit, man. Like I say, man, when you limited to the world, you gotta get the most land you get so you have space to walk around and move around and shit. You know, but these shits is compounds, man. That's all they really are, man. You know, that's why I said they be in these situations and they fucking be online all day playing internet games, man. But at the same time, don't forget the powers that be watching they dumbass too and know exactly where they dumbass be at. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they gotta be. They gotta be where they can find them at too. You know what I'm saying? But you would think if you were so super rich, you would be able to go somewhere on a planet where nobody knew where you was at.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the proof of what we be talking about to show you that they are prisoners of fame. And no matter how much money they have, they do not have no real power. They do not have no real influence except for the power that you give them. And that's what we were just talking about, giving them all your money. So on that note, we're about to get out of here, y'all. Like I said, I was checking the chat. Everybody got a voice. But that's it for that. Hold up. So they're saying this is the most expensive home ever sold in California. That's the hype on it. That's the spin. But like we said, who cares? If they would have paid $1 billion
Right.
for it, what the hell does it matter to
Mm-hmm.
us? But I didn't see them bragging about a company they started yet that was worth that much. What about y'all? You see, my whole point is this: we was trained with that shit our whole life to think what we spend our money on it means something, but it's really the other way around. It's about what we putting up and what we generating, what we creating, you know. And like I said, their family name is not like Wallstein, like Waltons, or none of that yet. So it's all good. They just showing us their shopping spree, but that don't impress
Mm-hmm.
me. That don't impress me. You know, if they did something for where they from and they did something for the future generations, I would respect that. You know, that nigga know how hard it is to make it out of Brooklyn, but you would think he would do something for the kids of Brooklyn, the youth, something. That shit is all a cliche now. You see how corny that shit sound? Doing something for the youth. See, that's a cliche, man. Nobody doing shit. That got the ability to do it. That's just the
But they
truth,
won't
y'all.
do it.
That's
Mm-hmm.
just the truth. Okay. She said, I know a woman who travels the world and go to Beyonce concerts. Well, Shireen, that's what you call a person under mind control, under spell, see? Because if Beyonce seeing her in real life, she wouldn't want to see her. But you know, when like I said earlier, when she transformed into that goddess on that stage, you know, that's when she worked her magic. She put people under that spell. You know, she worked that magic, man. I can't say nothing, man. She got that witch power. So, but when you see her in the light, it's different. You know, she don't even look the same. You know, she don't even look the same. She looked like almost like Wendy Williams a little bit. You know? Anyway, y'all, it's time to go. Salute to everybody that pulled up. Man. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Y'all know I'm gonna be on in the
You
morning.
too.
Y'all
All
know we gonna
right.
be lit.
All right.
Everybody chill out. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. For no fam elite, we at it again. Salute to everybody that's members only. All right, y'all. We out.
Good
One.
night.